There's a law in the universe called entropy. Anything without structure eventually decays. Your body without discipline decays. Your credit without management decays. And your trucking business without systems, well, eventually it just collapses. Reactive dispatch is entropy in motion. If you wake up every morning asking, what loads are available today? You're not running a business. You're reacting to chaos. In chaos, it compounds, it multiplies. Today, I'm going to show you why reactive dispatch is financial suicide and how lean discipline and momentum create stability, profit, and control. By the end of this video, you'll understand how booking loads the same day destroys your leverage, how deadhead explodes under reactive behavior, how lane discipline creates broker quality, how momentum compounds revenue, and how the fleet freedom formula installs control before capital. This is not motivation, y'all. This is mechanical. Because trucking is not emotional, it's mathematical. Reactive dispatch sounds like this. What's paying the most right now? Let me check the load board. I'll figure it out tomorrow. That's not survival thinking. And survival thinking, it just keeps you small. When you book loads the same day, you have zero negotiation leverage. You accept leftover freight. You increase deadhead. You run random lanes and you burn relationships. You are a price taker, not a price maker. And price takers always feel like the market is against them. Entropy means disorder increase unless energy is applied. If you don't have intentionality and you don't have intentional structured lanes, randomness increases. Random states, random brokers, random load times, random deadhead equals random revenue. And randomness destroys your margins. A study in behavior economics shows decision fatigue reduces decision quality throughout the day. When you're constantly scrambling for loads, you are making financial decisions in a fatigue state. That alone will lower your profits. Reactive dispatch isn't just inefficient, it's neurologically expensive. Strong operators run tight lanes, repeatable lanes with repeat customers and brokers. They stay in a 150 to 200 mile metro radius. Why? Because you need to establish repetition. And repetition, well, it builds these important things. First, it builds broker familiarity. You get to learn the brokers and customers with freight in your lanes. Second, it builds reload predictability. You begin to know what loads are moving and the days that they ship on. Third, it builds fuel efficiency. You now have an average of your weekly fuel burn. Fourth, it builds time and control. You should have a targeted idea of how many loads you can complete in that week and the total amount of gross profits that it creates. Lane discipline reduces entropy. You learn shipper patterns, you know reload timings, and you build broker preferences. Consistency creates leverage. Leverage creates pricing power, and pricing power creates real margins. Momentum is a universal law. Objects in motion stay in motion. Businesses in structure stay in profits. When you start to operate in tight lanes, it starts to look like this. Week 1, you're unknown. But by week 3, brokers, they recognize you. When you get to week 6, now they're calling you first. Now, you're not competing on the load boards. You're competing to build relationships. Momentum shifts the power dynamic. Freight starts calling you. That's control. You need control. Freedom is control. Let's break down some math. If you book random, high-paying loads, you might run 500 miles north, then 400 miles west, then 600 miles south. Now, you're constantly on the load board looking for your next load, praying, hoping you don't have to deadhead too far for your next pickup. Deadhead miles climb from 12% all the way to 25 to 30%. Fuel costs rises. Maintenance rises. Driver fatigue increases. But you think you're winning because the rate per loaded mile was high? That's illusion income. Real profit is calculated on total miles. Reactive dispatch hides real costs. Let me paint a clear picture of the two types of mindsets that exist in trucking: the CEO versus the driver. The driver mindset asks, what's the highest rate today? The CEO mindset asks, what lane systems produce stable weekly net income? Drivers, they chase spikes. CEOs build stability. Drivers celebrate gross. CEOs measure net profits. Drivers react. CEOs, they plan. And the market, it punishes reactive operators during downturns. The structured operators are who survive freight recessions. And here's the dangerous part no one tells you. Most operators want funding before they fix dispatch. Capital without control accelerates collapse. If you add a second truck while running reactive lanes, you will only multiply chaos. The fleet freedom installs lane discipline, weekly P&L tracking, deadhead thresholds, maintenance reserves, and revenue per calendar day metrics. Only after that do we install fleet funding. Control first, capital second. Acceleration without alignment causes accidents. Let me give you this practical framework to better understand how to fix your reactive dispatch problems. Step 1, choose a primary metro hub. Step 2, identify 3 to 5 consistent brokers in that lane. Step 3, track deadhead percentages weekly. Step 4, book 2 to 3 days ahead minimum. Step 5, track revenue per calendar day, not just your RPM. If deadhead miles exceed 15 to 20% consistently, you don't have a rate problem. You have a lane discipline problem. Industry data consistently shows small carriers exit within the first few years, not because they can't drive, but because they lack cost control, lane structure, and financial tracking. The operators who survive cycles aren't lucky. They're just disciplined. Discipline compounds. If this hit you, I want you to comment the word discipline, because most people just want funding. Few want structure. If you want to learn how to lock in profitable metro lanes, reduce deadhead, track total miles properly, build broker leverage, and install a weekly P&L system, join the next Fleet Formula Bootcamp. Day 1, fleet freedom, operational control. Day 2, fleet funding, capital acceleration. The link is below. Entropy destroys what is unmanaged. Momentum rewards what is structured. Reactive dispatch feels busy, but discipline builds wealth. The market isn't your enemy. Chaos is. Build structure, create control, then scale. I'll see you inside the bootcamp.